Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm here to break down the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at the Daytona Road Course. Got a lot to break down today. A good chunk of drivers, a good NASCAR race here to get into that is not the normal Daytona race, thank God. If you're new here, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to this channel. It really helps me grow. Leave a comment, tell me who you think the best play of the day is and who you think is going to win the race. I personally think Austin Cindric is going to win this race. I also think he's going to win every single road course race we ever go to at this point. So we'll get into more of that. If you want to get more of my content, you can always subscribe to my Patreon. I'll put the link down below. It's only $10 a month, and you're going to get articles for every single race. You're going to get projections. You're going to get a spreadsheet. You're going to get value on what every driver needs to do to hit value. You're going to get rankings. You're going to get cash core. You're going to get all that stuff. Pass optimal lineups, average optimal lineups for every single race. So be sure to go check that out. And that's for all three series combined, by the way, as well. I've also partnered with America DFS to be their content provider in their Discord. I'll put the link down below as well for that. Pretty much just it's just a bunch of people talking about NASCAR DFS, and you can ask me questions down there or anybody else. I think that's a great way to get better at your DFS is to just talk to other people about Draftkings and FanDuel, whatever you're playing, and to that really helps. That really has helped me get a lot better. I think that'll help a lot of you get better as well. So be sure to go hit that link down below and join the Discord. And then one last thing, I will be going live tomorrow, or not tomorrow. This is the Xfinity Series video. I'll be going live on Saturday. I don't know what time yet, to be honest. Probably around 12, maybe 1 o'clock. We'll figure that out to discuss this slate even more. I'll probably know a little bit more about this slate by then. Any news that breaks. And you guys can ask me questions, and I'll answer them for you over there. So be sure to come to the live on Saturday. I will be there for that race. That's really all I got to say. Let's get into the breakdown. We're going to start with AJ Ahmediner. He is $10,900 starting 6th. This is a new year for AJ Ahmediner. We are not going to be getting chalk AJ Ahmediner starting in 40th every single race this year. That is not happening anymore. He's actually going to be starting towards the front. And, wow, man, it's tough. Okay, I'm just going to group him and Cindric together because I think they're both amazing plays, and probably more than likely one of the two is the dominator in this race. They did the first and second best odds. Shocker. Look, you have, last year we had Austin Cindric win this race. The Daytona Road Course, Allmendinger finished 4th. At Road Course overall, Cindric has the 4th best average finish, and Allmendinger has the 3rd best average finish. When we look at average position, at road courses, Ahmediner has the best and Cindric has the 2nd best. When it comes to the lap sled, 194 overall at road courses for Austin Cindric and 77 for AJ Ahmediner. Fast laps is 138 for Cindric and 57 for Ahmediner. When you go look at driver rating, Ahmediner has the best driver rating in the field. Austin Cindric has the 2nd best. When you go look at teams, see, that's hard when you look at teams because Cindric is the whole Penske team. They're going to have a better average finish overall, but the Cali guys haven't been as great overall at road courses, but Ahmediner has. So, look, these are the two guys. These are the two guys. One of these two is a dominator. I think there's two other interesting plays down there that people are going to look for as other dominators, but no. One of these two drivers will be the dominator in this race. You're only going to need one because it's only a 52-lap race. So, AJ Allmendinger, Austin Cindric, love them both. Probably only play one in the lineup. Wouldn't play both of them together, but I think they're both good plays. If you want to chase the place differential points instead of dominator points, your guys to go to are going to be Allgaier, Gragson, and Haley. All three of them, 25th, 26th, 29th. They're all pretty good at road courses. Well, actually, Justin Haley has... See, Haley's a good road course driver. He ends up wrecking. We'll talk about him separately. Let's talk about Allgaier and Gragson. They're teammates for Junior Motorsports here. Allgaier is the 6th best average finish at road courses. Gragson actually is the best average finish at road courses in the field. When you go look at average position, Allgaier has 4th best average position, and Gragson the 3rd best average position. Gragson finished 3rd here a year ago. Allgaier finished 9th. But Gragson's average position was not as great as Allgaier's was a year ago, so that's something to notice. When you go look at lap sled, Allgaier's led 38 laps at road courses to Gragson's 19. But these are going to be drivers that I really doubt are going to be dominators. These are going to be guys for place differential, and they're both going to be top 10 drivers. Probably, I think one of those two probably finishes in the top 5. I'd probably pour my money on Gragson at this point this year. I think he's going to have a big year. So, Noah Gragson starting 26 is going to be a very good place differential play, as with Justin Allgaier. And now Justin Haley's interesting because Haley runs well at these road courses. He really does. 16th best average position at road courses, which is not great. I know, or average finish, and 11th best average position at road courses, which is not great. I know. But before those average finishes and those average positions, that guy's always up in the top 5 competing for these wins. I think he almost won the Indy Road. I think it was the Indy Road Course race he almost won a year ago. So Justin Haley, I mean, I'm completely fine if it. He's led 11 laps at road courses, 10 fast laps at road courses as well. He just ends up getting caught up in wrecks. I think his average finish is probably going to make him go overlooked over guys like Vargas and Allgaier, but I think Haley's just as good of a play starting 29th. Really like this spot. He's definitely going to be someone I want. Daniel Hemrick, I'm not really interested in him. I don't understand why they priced up a bunch of the guys starting in the back, which good. They should do that. But then they made Daniel Hemrick $9,700 starting 5th. I don't get that. I don't want to play him at all here. I'm kind of in a wait-and-see mode of Hemrick. I don't really know how great he's going to be in his Gibbs car. We'll see. I mean, this is clearly the best equipment he's had in his career, but I still am not 100% sure on what we're really going to see out of him. He finished 25th here a year ago. Not great. 11th best average finish in road courses overall. 10th at average position in road courses. Not going to be too interested here in Hemrick. I think it's too expensive. I'd rather pay for all the other place differential plays around him, including Andy Lally, who is going to be driving He's driving the BJ McLeod car. Oh, is that 99? I don't know. Pardis is in the 99 or Lowry's in the 99. One of them's in Pardis is in the 91. Lowry's in the 99. So Andy Lowry's driving the 99 for BJ McLeod here. He raced 2 road course races a year ago, finished 5th in both of them. Great road course driver. And one of them was this race. He finished 5th in this race a year ago. Starts 24th. I don't have a problem playing Andy Lally at all. Looks like a very good place differential option. Harrison Burton's kind of the same thing as Hemrick, and Harrison Burton should be more expensive than Hemrick. I don't get that either. I don't understand why Hemrick's more expensive than Harrison Burton. Harrison Burton has definitely shown to be a better driver than Daniel Hemrick, and are literally in the same racing for the same team and the same equipment, so I don't understand that. But same thing, Harrison Burton starts too high for me. I don't see him being a dominator, so I don't want to get him at all. Brandon Jones starts 39th after wrecking early in Daytona last week. I'm fine with this. Brandon Jones actually finished 2nd in this race a year ago, which is kind of surprising. He's not a terrible road course driver. I mean, he only the 12th best average finish of road course, but he's another driver we've seen get caught up in accidents. 5th best average position in this race a year ago as well. I'm fine with Brandon Jones. Love him. 39th. I mean, he doesn't really have anywhere to go down. He should be a top 10 car, maybe even a top 5. So starting 39th at $9,000, I'm going to be very, very interested in that. Same, Alex Labay is a little bit more interesting because he's Alex Labay. If he was cheaper, yeah, but $8,800, I don't know if I really want to pay $8,800 for Alex Labay. I'm fine paying $9,000 for Brandon Jones all day, but $8,800 for Alex Labay is a little bit different. Finished 21st here a year ago. Now, he is a really good road course driver, I will say that. 9th best average finish in road courses overall, 6th best average position in road courses overall. But still, for the most part, Alex Labay is not going to be someone. I mean, he's fine. If you have enough room to get him, go for it. I'd just rather play Jones for $200 more. I think I'd rather play Michael Annett for $100 less, starting 33rd. He has 3 positions up farther, but he has better odds to win this race. He finished 14th here a year ago. He has the 7th best average position at finish at road courses, 14th best average position at road courses. And that's never going to be someone that we're going to be like, oh, Michael Annett's contending for wins. But Michael Annett is going to be a top 10 driver pretty much all the time. He's very consistent, starting 33rd. I don't have a problem thinking that he's going to do well in this race and pay off that salary pretty easily. So I'm pretty much fine going to Michael Annett here. He looks like a pretty good play. Now, Jade Buford starts 28th. He's another one of these road course drivers that comes in for road course racing. He's driving from Big Machine Motorsports. This is a new team this year, so I'm not really sure how they're going to do, but I'm not really sure how great that equipment's going to be. So it's a little bit of a risky play, which is going to make him only a tournament play for me. I would not touch him in cash at all. And his races last year in the road courses, he finished 15th here, 10th best average finish in road courses, 18th best average position in road courses. But it was in a different car, different car, not in the Truck Series. So Jade Buford, you can play him. I think I'm going to be a little bit off him. I mean, I'll probably get a little bit of him in tournaments, but still for the most part, probably not going to be as high on him as most. Jeremy Clements starts 18th. He's $8,400. Like, ever since Jeremy Clements won Road America, everyone just wants to play in road courses, but to be honest, I'm not going to be all there. He does have a good average finish in road courses, 7th best and 9th best average position in road courses. That's fine, but starting 18th, I'd rather just pay $200 less for Miguel Polluto in a much, much, much better car than Jeremy Clements is. So I don't think Jeremy Clements is going to be someone I want too much to. You can play him, but he always gets ownership of these road courses, so I don't... he's usually, this is a spot, like, you see a driver who's $8,400, has good numbers, starting 18th, surrounded by a bunch of place differential guys. Usually I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's probably going to be a driver that we could leverage for ownership, but Clements is going to get ownership, he always does, so I just don't really want to get there. Miguel Polluto, though, starting 35th. Miguel Polluto was a Truck Series racer years ago, but starting 35th in a Junior Motorsports car. He's driving the number 8 car for Junior Motorsports. Love it. Absolutely love this spot here. I think this is a very good spot for Miguel Polluto. He just starts so far back. I'm going to really like that. That's going to be a spot I want to attack. Riley Herbst is $8,100. He starts 16th. And if you've watched my truck video already, if not, go check that out. If it's, not after a race happened, obviously. But I talked about Riley Herbst as a pretty good road course driver, and I want to stand by that. He is a very good road course driver, and this is a very good car he's in. He's driving that 98 car that Chase Briscoe drove a year ago. He is in one of the best cars in the entire field. He finished 7th here a year ago. Only the 17th best average finish overall road courses, but the 8th best average position. Riley Herbst is Riley Herbst. He ends up always wrecking, but hopefully we're going to change that this year, and he's not going to wreck as much. And he'll finish where he's running. And if he does that, he's going to be a great play starting 16th. This is a guy I think we could leverage for ownership. I don't think Riley Herbst will see a ton of ownership. I really like this spot. I think this is a good spot for Riley Herbst. I think he could do very well. Ryan Sieg starts 27th. I mean, he just isn't a great road course driver. 15th best average finish overall road courses, 17th at average position at road courses. Isn't that great? I mean, he has some place differential upside. If you want to get to him, that's fine. But still, for the most part, I don't really want to get there. Mike Snyder starts 8th. This is an interesting one. So Mike Snyder's actually a good road course driver. He's another guy who had a lot of bad luck. Road America, he was doing really well, wrecked. There was another race he was doing really well, wrecked. Mike Snyder, but he was up front, and I don't think he let any laps, but he was like up in the front of the race the whole time. And now he's driving way better car. He's driving for Richard Childress Racing, that number 2 car. We saw Tyler Reddick win a championship in that car a few years ago. Now I'm not saying Mike Snyder is about to be a championship contender or anything, because I really doubt that, but I think he's a little bit underpriced, and he is definitely a top 5 contender in this race. And at $7,800, I think I'd rather pay for that top 5 potential than some of the place differential to get like a top 20. So Mike Snyder, I'm definitely gonna be interested in. Preston Hardis is racing for the DGM number 91 car. He starts 23rd in this race. He's $7,600. I mean, to be honest, Hardis didn't run fantastic at the road courses last year. 18th best average finish at road courses, 13th best average position. He ran solid, but nothing too fantastic. And this 91 car isn't like great. Like, I'd much rather the car that Andy Lowey's driving in is like way better than this car. So Preston Hardis, I mean, he's fine if you want to get there, but he's not going to be a big part of my lineup's construction this week. I think he's fine, but I'm not like locking him in by any means. Brandon Brown starts 7th, not interested, starts too high. Josh Williams starts 22nd. He has a 23rd best average finish at road courses, 21st best average position at road courses. He'll probably just finish around where he starts. Don't really want to play that. Ryan Vargas starts too high, starting 12th. He did have a very good finish at the Roval a year ago. I think he had top 10, but still, I mean, that was an insane race. That was the rain race where you pretty much just didn't have to crash and you would have been fine. But Ryan Vargas, I don't think I want to get there. He starts too high. Greg Galling, though, I do really like a lot here. If you guys recall, at the Roval last year, Greg Galling had a fantastic run. I don't remember if he actually ended up finishing that race. He might have wrecked, but he is a very good road course driver. Starting 30th, I don't think this Jimmy Means number 52 car is that bad. I think it's decent enough where Greg Galling is going to give us a ton of place differential. He should be competing for a top 10, in my opinion, by the end of this race. So at $6,900, I'm really going to like him. For cash, I think there's other cash plays down a little bit cheaper that I would rather just attack. But still, I think Greg Galling is a great play for tournaments. And if you want to put him in your cash line, like, that's fine by me. I don't think that's a problem at all. But I think there's better plays for cash. So, I mean, if he fits in with what you want to do, great. But you don't have to. So, Greg Galling, I definitely like a good bit. Landon Castle starts 14th. That's really high for Landon Castle, but I do think Landon Castle is going to have a pretty good year. But the equipment he's in isn't great. I think he's just going to kind of hang around there. And with all the place differential spots around him, I don't think it's going to be a spot I really want to attack. Jeffrey Earnhardt, look, Earnhardt sucks. Like, he's not good. I mean, he's also in for the JD Motorsports team. 27th best average finish at road courses, 28th at average position at road courses. But he starts 37th. That is a ton of place differential upside that Jeffrey Earnhardt possesses for this race. So you got to be interested in someone. I wouldn't call him like a lock play. I mean, he's a good play. Wouldn't call him anything fantastic, but I am somewhat interested in him. Tommy Joe Martin starts 20th. I'm not going to be interested in that. He just starts too high up. I just think he finishes around there. Maybe falls back a little bit. Not really going to be too interested in that. Brett Moffitt on the pole, not going to be interested either. Cody Ware starting Moffitt's a good road course driver, but I don't see him being a dominator, and if he's not, he's going to be worthless in this race, so don't want to play any Brett Moffitt. Cody Ware, though, I really like Cody Ware. I think it's going to be popular, but I'm fine with it. He ran one race last year at the Roval, and he finished in the top 10. Cody Ware and Rick Ware Racing Equipment is a very good road course driver. And starting 38th, he has a ton of place differential, a ton. So I love that spot at $6,200. He's not too expensive. I thought Cody Ware was going to be way more expensive than he is, so I'm all for that. Give me all the Cody Ware this week. I think he's a great play, great cash play, great tournament play. I want Cody Ware. Jeb Burton starts too high for me, starting 3rd. His price is he's so cheap, though. For what Jeb Burton is, for who he is and the car he's in, he's way too cheap, but just there's too many place differential spots that are available this week for me to really want to go there. Kyle Weatherman starts 11th at $6,000. Not interested, too high. Same thing with Jesse Little, starting way too high. Colby Howard starting 32nd at 5,700 is interesting. Driving for JD Motorsports. He's a decent driver. He just starts really far back. He's going to offer us a lot of place differential. I think that's a good play. Stephen Light. Okay, Stephen Light we have to pay attention to this week because if Stephen Light has sponsorship, that is going to be that. This is why you got tuned into the live stream on Saturday, because these are the kind of things I'll know by then. Right now, I don't know that. I'll know if Stephen. We'll know. I mean, nobody really knows if Stephen Light has sponsorship right now, but we'll know by Saturday if Stephen Light has sponsorship. Because if he does, he is a great play in a number 30 or starting 34th in a number 61 car. He's a good road course driver. When he gets a chance to actually run these races, he does well. So at $5,600, that's going to be very interesting if he has sponsorship. I will be interested. David Starr starts. Okay, hold on. Actually, I don't know if this hasn't really been confirmed or anything. There's 2 spots on the entry list that are not officially confirmed. It's the number 13 for MBM and the number 23 for RSS Racing. I've seen stuff where David Starr is going to race and Natalie Decker is going to race, so we'll go with that for now. That could change. David Starr is on Draftkings right now, but he's not listed even as at a position, but I think this is the car he's going to be driving. If that's the case, I would assume if this team, because he's on the same, him and Stephen Light, yeah, it's a Satori, but it's Satori / MBM over there. If Stephen Light and Dave, I would assume they give the sponsorship to Stephen Light. I don't think David Starr's going to be the one getting the sponsorship. I could be wrong. We'll have to pay attention to that. So we'll see what happens here. I don't really think I'm going to be too interested in David Starr, but if he does have sponsorship starting 40th, that will be interesting. Timmy Hill starts too high. I don't want to play him starting 17th. Bailey Curry's in the number 74 car this year for my Carmen Racing. Starts 31st. $5,100 is a lot of place differential upside. Actually had the 13th best average finish at the Daytona Road Course in the field, so that's pretty good. He had a good run here last year, so I think Bailey Curry is going to be a very chalky play, but a very good play at $5,100. He looks good. Joe Graff starts too high. Matt Mills starts too high. Chris Wright starts too high. Natalie Decker, yeah, no. Ty Gibbs. All right, so Ty Gibbs is making his debut. If you don't know anything about, obviously, I mean, you can pretty much tell that he's related to Joe Gibbs. He's Joe Gibbs' grandson. He is a up-and-coming driver in the ARCA series. He's someone who's supposed to be very, very talented. Like, a lot of people are really high on him. And he's driving a 54 car for Joe Gibbs Racing. It's $4,700. I don't get that. I get he's starting kind of high, but, I mean, he does not have a lot to pay off this salary, man. And in that 54 car, if he's that talented, the upside's tremendous. I mean, I think he should be able to get a top 10. If he just hangs in his spot, he's paying off $4,700, and he should be able to do that. I don't think he's going to have a disastrous first race. He's just in such a good car. If he was in a trash car or a middle pack car, I'd be like, okay, yeah, maybe not. But in the joke, he's in the 54 car. That's the car Kyle Busch wins like every single race in every year. So I mean, it's just that pricing is way too cheap. I think he's gonna get ownership. I would assume. You gotta play Ty. I think Ty Gibbs is just a great play. Cash, he doesn't have to play differential upside, so probably not cash. But in tournaments, I'm gonna have so much of Ty Gibbs. I mean, I can't believe it. I didn't think I would because I thought it'd be priced high. But I was like looking through his salaries, and then I got to the bottom and saw Ty Gibbs. I was like, oh yeah, he's racing. And I was like, $4,700. Are you kidding me? That's way too cheap. So. Yeah, I'm going to play Ty Gibbs this week. We'll see what happens there. I mean, that could bite me in the foot real bad, but, I mean, I'm not worried at all. I mean, that car's so good. If I lose because Ty Gibbs sucks, oh well. Everything I've heard about this guy is that he is, like, next up in NASCAR. Him and Sam Mayer are, like, next up in NASCAR, so I'm fine playing Ty Gibbs. But, yeah, that's really all I got to say. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe on this video. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and hopefully we're going to make some money this weekend.